Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Anywhere. From the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, podcasting and streaming around the globe. Just ahead, RoShelle Salinas, Houston Automotive Show, joins us to talk about the changes happening at this year's event. Jeff brought his homework to class this morning and tells us what he found about EV battery disposal. And Conrad has a look at the upcoming racing events just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong, so glad that you could join us today. And joining us right now, not in picture frames, but on the telephone, as RoShelle Salinas with the Houston Automotive Show. Did you forget to pay the electric bill at the house?
Uh-oh.
I think she's still muted.
And the phone bill.
Yeah, we think that you're still muted somehow. Are you muted? Because we can't hear you.
I guess I was. This is my first time doing a phone access. You know, I'm used to being on video, but I guess it's already frozen tundra in Houston, and my power went out.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, well, it's not frozen tundra yet, but I understand Monday it's going to be ugly, and I think that you really need to pay that electric bill before Monday.
I'm opening the mail. I'm checking right now. Maybe I missed it.
I think the kids will really appreciate it. But, hey, it's good.
Oh, don't worry. They're freaking out.
No, I'm sure. You got the candles lit?
It's daylight.
It's sunny.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, RoShelle, lots of changes at the Automotive Show. And the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about, because the last time we talked, you weren't too sure yet about Stellantis and the Ram and the Jeep indoor drives and all of the stuff that goes along with Stellantis. And they have said, we're not doing the Houston show. We're not doing any shows.
That is correct. In very unfortunate news, you know, we were grateful to have them for so long, and we're really empathetic to their situation, but it's still extremely disappointing that we won't have Camp Jeep and the Ram Track at our shows this year, nor a full display of Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, but we will have a ride and drive. They are still conducting a ride and drive out front, so there still will be vehicles of those brands on site. It just is a little bit different this year, and you know, it's going to feel different and look different, but we're going to make the best of it.
Yeah. Are the dealers going to step up and bring some product?
You know, when last time we spoke, we were so unsure of everything because we weren't getting answers, and it was still always a maybe, and we were being very optimistic. So they pulled out in such a fast, last-minute time frame that we didn't have a chance to get all 14 Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram dealers together to be able to say, yes, let's do something. It's quite a feat to get that many people in agreement of something and to, put the funds forward and everything. So we did not have time to put the dealers display together, but we will have some vehicles there on display. And like I said, we'll have the ride and drive. That's
good. So what other changes? Is Ford going to have a display?
Yes, Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Mazda, Hyundai, Buick GMC, all of those will still be there. VW, Subaru, all of the typicals that we've had in the past, they'll all still be there. It's just the Stellantis brands will be missing in that factor. And Ford actually came in last minute with a surprise for us, and they are going to have a Bronco simulator on site. So that is new this year. That's new to all the auto shows. It's something that they just created recently. They had that Raptor simulator a few years ago, and so they've transformed that into a Bronco simulator. So I'm excited that we'll have that attraction.
That's cool.
This year too.
Yeah, very, very nice. I read something pretty ugly, and not about the Houston show, but about the just concluded Consumer Electronics Show in
Vegas?
In Las Vegas, and they were this article was really slamming Detroit because the Detroit 3 really didn't have much to do with the Consumer Electronics Show. And of course, they keep blaming it on the UAW, but I think that this was kind of in the plans before the UAW strike. And the fact that they're not there just bodes well for all of the other manufacturers that did show there. And is this going to mean that, that the Detroit 3 are going to suffer with sales because they weren't there? Because let's face it, the Consumer Electronics Show, that thing is huge. 130,000 visitors to that show.
Yeah, you would just think that that'd be the normal way to go.
And, in the past, they've always had displays there. And the Chicago show, same thing. And especially with Stellantis pulling out of that. So it's a shame. I think that it's a transition period for a lot of car manufacturers. And I think that, especially Houston, and based on what I have seen at the Houston Auto Show and now the Automotive Show, that I have seen at that show, that people love to come to that show. And it is a huge opportunity to show what the manufacturers have to offer at the dealership. There's no other experience like it. You can't. Where else can you go and see all of the manufacturers in one place? And it's a huge draw. And to not attend, even if you don't have the huge displays and all of the millions of dollars that they put into those traveling road shows, you'd think that they would at least have something scaled down or something, Is it just me complaining again?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir, of course. I mean, this is a conversation that all of us auto shows across the country have every year and throughout the year. We have a big conference with all the auto shows together, and this is a reoccurring conversation. I mean, this is like my, 14th auto show. So I've been working in this industry for a long time. And, when I first started, it was kind of one of our biggest years in the auto show in Houston. We had almost 100,000 attendees. That's not something you get at a concert when you put on just park your vehicle on the side of the hill while the concert's going on. You're not getting attraction like we do at the auto show, where people are actually sitting in, touching, experiencing, learning about, comparing, and driving your vehicle on site. That's not happening at these other experiential things that these marketing executives are investing in at the manufacturers. And so we're all talking about this, and it's a struggle to understand where the manufacturers are coming from and why they wouldn't want to participate in auto shows. And it's hard to communicate this, to the consumer on a daily basis as well, and to explain that we still have costs when we put on the show. We still have to pay for the carpet and the rent of the building and the electricity and the internet, and all of those factors are still, a cost to us. And that's how we have to put on the show. And we try to make it, $20 for 2 events in one is a pretty good deal. For coming to look at all the, you're spending that in gas when you're driving around looking and going to all the dealerships trying to comparison shop.
So, for sure.
We still think it's a good value and a good experience to come to the auto show. And, I've seen this influx back and forth of manufacturers over these 15 years that I've been doing this. And, they go away, they think that the auto show isn't worth it, and then they come back and they say, oh, you know what, it is worth it. Sorry, we didn't realize. And they come back again. So, I'm just holding on tight and making sure that, we're still providing value and a good experience, not only for the consumers, but for the manufacturers too, and making sure they're getting their leads that they want to get and connections to the people.
Well, RoShelle, you and I both have been basically in the advertising business our entire careers. And one of the things that I learned early on is the fact that, somebody says, oh, well, we just can't afford the advertising. Well, no, you cannot afford not to advertise, because now's not the time to pull back. Now's the time to throw some more money at it and get even bigger and better, because, they've got cars stacking up on dealership lots now. I just read the story that inventory is now up to a 72-day supply overall. And so now would be the time to really hit it up, and the auto show's a perfect place.
Especially in electric vehicles.
Yeah, there you go.
That's for sure.
Yes, exactly.
And one thing I was wondering about, you were talking about, with the OEM's perspective, the factory, what I would wonder is, How long does it take them to get 100,000 people to come through a dealership to look at their cars?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing you've done at the Houston Auto Show is you've kind of changed the dynamic of the experience of the attendees, because when I used to go to the Houston Auto Show in the beginning when I was working for Oldsmobile, we had salespeople working the floor, which could be a little aggressive trying to get the customer to come to them to buy the car. Now it's evolved into where it's more product experts, people who know a lot more about the vehicle and are less interested in getting you to show up at their dealership the next day. So the attendees get an opportunity to learn about the car as opposed to become accosted by a salesperson, so to speak.
This is very true.
You can't say accosted on the show.
It just did.
You did. You can't say that.
Well, you guys have been attending the preview night for many years, and you know what that experience is like. And this year we're changing that a bit more as well. So I wanted to share that news with you. We're actually opening it to the public. It has been open to the public, but I think the word hasn't quite gotten around yet. But we've lowered the ticket cost. So this is now the first look social event. This is your adults only time to come to the auto show. So for $75, you're getting free valet. So you're not paying the NRG parking fee. You're getting valet. You're getting open bar. You're getting appetizers, DJ, photo booths, all kinds of entertainment, and you're getting to experience the auto show before the general public. So I think it's a good time for people that come on Saturday and complain that there's kids sitting in the driver's seat. This first look social event is the night to come to the auto show.
And I will tell you that it is a very different event than the actual car show itself. Yes, the cars don't move, I got that, but to have all of that food out there and the booze, and it's a high-end event.
Well, it's got a different level of energy because everybody's there. It's more of a, I don't necessarily want to use party. Maybe social is really the better.
Networking. Well, and the other thing is that there are a lot of dealership people there, sales managers, owners, that sort of stuff. You're going to see the guy from River Oaks Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram in his tennis shoes, and I'm sure he'll have some sort of display. But whatever the case may be, all I can tell you is that it is truly a different event, and I would encourage anybody that's watching that they need to really think twice, and perhaps maybe that would be the place to go.
Get a babysitter, date night, step out.
All you can eat and drink for $75. Heck of a deal.
It is actually. Yeah, you can't get that. You can't get that at Perry's. I'll tell you that. So
that's right.
At $12 a margarita.
That's right. Exactly. All right. Well, that's good. And that's going to be. Is that a Tuesday night?
Yeah, it's going to be Tuesday from 5 to 8. On Tuesday, January 23rd. So get your tickets now so you can access that.
Where do you get the tickets?
HoustonAutoShow.com. We've got a special page dedicated to it. Scroll down, you'll find the image there of a fancy lady with her higher sunglasses on and sipping a martini, which really sets the tone for what
is that an interesting picture.
Did you pose for that picture?
Yeah, that was me. That's all me. I was the inspiration.
I love it. Well, how are things in the office? How's Wyatt doing?
We're all. It's the last minute fires of an event. We've got a new ticketing company called Revving, and so we're learning all of the back end of that right now. It's a little stressful too, and just all the last minute stuff. But we're really excited. We're going to make the most of this year, and I'm glad this cold front is coming through this week instead of the week of the auto show, so that we can still get some news coverage and no one's afraid to come out in the sunshine, and it'll be a good week.
So you're getting like Taylor Swift and you're dumping Ticketmaster, huh?
Oh yeah, had to get rid of all those high fees.
And I think a lot of other people are doing that as well. Yeah. A lot of venues are going away from Ticketmaster. I actually saw an ad. I actually saw an ad for Ticketmaster on the television this morning. I've never seen an ad for Ticketmaster. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a first.
Yeah.
That's a first.
Yeah.
It's better when we can control the ticket pricing too, right? So now you can get your tickets at a discount. You can get them for $17. When you get to the show, it's going to be $20. And, earlier when we put the tickets on sale in November, they were $15. So now we can offer those discounts leading up to the show and then get to our actual ticket price during the event and be able to provide those. With Ticketmasters, we didn't have that adjustability either. So right now, go get your tickets for just $17.
So you're still going to have the same old car displays out there in the lobby?
Yes, we'll have a great classic display. I think we've got about 40 or so classic vehicles inside the show, and then a handful in the lobby. And then we'll also have a lot of custom vehicles this year too. We've got a little special area called Charlie's Customs with about 10 customized vehicles. And we'll have Van Sharks is going to be there with some outfitted Mercedes vans that they customize as well. So lots of fun stuff, unique items this year.
Yeah, Ben Miller's going to join us next week to talk about some of that stuff in a little more detail.
Very nice.
Are they going to have the fishing tank again?
Yes, the boat show will have the bathtub where the professional fisherman is showing you how to cast and unwind your line in the pond, and so that'll be a lot of fun. And then we've got some really great stuff coming on the boat show side too. Some of the most expensive boats out there. There's one that's coming that's nearly $1 million. Pontoons, bass boats, speed boats, all the fun stuff will be there too on the boat show side of things as well.
I look forward to the submarine display.
Oh yeah, submarine display.
Yeah. And we'll keep track of Don so he doesn't cannonball into the fish tank.
Like the guy. Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
Don't even go there. Yeah. Well, we certainly do look forward to it. And so it's going to be HoustonAutoShow.com.
Yes, HoustonAutoShow.com. You can get your tickets and everything that you need there. Check out that First Look social event. Lots of fun to be had.
It's going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Wednesday through Sunday, yes. January 24th through the 28th.
Well,
yeah.
Tuesday if they want to go to
still
preview.
Got the ride that's outside.
Yes, we've still got ride and drives outside, ride and drives inside this year too. So that Camp Cheap space, we moved in the ride and drive lounge like we used to have it before. So Ford will be inside, and Evolve Houston. Evolve has got a good lineup of EVs. We've got an ID4, the Lightning, a Polestar, a couple other vehicles in that lane that we'll be doing EV test drive. So if you haven't driven an EV, this is your chance to really feel how they just take off too.
So lots of changes, lots of new stuff going on this year.
Perfect.
Yeah, it should be a fun year to come.
A reason to go.
Well, RoShelle, it's great to talk to you as always, and we look forward to seeing you on that chaotic Saturday morning when we roll in there going, where do you want us to set up?
We'll find a great space for you guys to be live there.
I know that you will. Thank you. Good, best of luck to you. Let us know if we can help in any way.
Same. Thanks so much, guys. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Very cool.
Well, you talk about a busy
the bathtub.
No kidding.
The bathtub. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
Can't help it.
Yeah. I guess she's going to be moving in there in the next week or 10 days whenever they move their offices
sure
over
they
there
are,
to run this thing.
Yeah. Well, I think they have to start on the weekend before because that only leaves them.
It's going to take them a while to fill the bathtub.
The bathtub. Well, there's that.
Yeah. This is going to be
fun.
Can you imagine?
There's
going to be a lot of new stuff. I'm kind of excited about seeing all the new stuff.
Me too. All right. Time now for the race card. Conrad always has the race card for us. And we got the big Daytona race coming up next month.
Yeah, well, 24 hours of Daytona. The next weekend is the Roar before the 24, which is kind of the testing weekend before the 24 hours. And then on the 28th of January is the 24 hours of Daytona. On March 10th is the Gator Nationals. They're going to kick off NHRA with the Gator Nationals. And it was interesting. I hadn't heard anything about what Antron was talking about the Invitational the weekend before. So I guess that's March 3rd.
He just broke that news. It was breaking news.
Yeah.
We need one of those little...
That's 2 weeks before.
Noise things.
That was 2 weeks before.
And then on the 24th of March is going to be the Winter Nationals. So they're going to start in Florida and then drive all the way to California to race again. Going to be a hectic time for all those teams. NHRA, NASCAR, the Busch Clash is on February 4th.
Yeah. Got that going.
And
Agreed.
then the Daytona Twin Qualifiers for the Daytona 500 on the 11th, the Daytona 500 on the 18th, and then Atlanta on the 25th, Las Vegas on March 3rd, Phoenix on March 10th, Bristol on March 17th, and then back to Coda on March 24th. Hopefully it won't rain out like it did a couple of years ago.
Antron was talking about trying to get some of the NASCAR drivers over at NHRA, try drag racing. When they get to the end of the track and they can't turn left, what are they going to do?
That's a good question, Mike. I'll be sure and ask that question.
But, some of them are already doing that. You've got one of the Bush boys was doing drag racing with Tony. He tried to get a qualifying license.
So he could turn right instead of left at the end of the track.
Whatever. Are
And
you
then
done now?
Formula One starts March 3rd at Bahrain, March 10th at Saudi Arabia, and then March 24th in Australia.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good deal.
And time now for Jeff's feature story this week, EV battery disposal. And we don't even think about that.
Yeah, well-
But what happens with the battery when it goes dead?
This all started, I was looking up some information on EV junkyards, but there really aren't any to really discuss. So what happens to the battery pack, even though they're used up? Well, you're not supposed to throw certain kind of batteries in the trash, Mike, specifically the couple 100 pounds that you're going to find with an EV. Instead of trashing the batteries, the auto recyclers, which are formerly known as junkyards, they seem to specialize in certain firms dismantling the packs that break them down into different materials. Now, the materials are wires, circuitry, plastics, and the actual cells themselves. The cells and circuits are crushed to separate and purify the various metals in them, including nickel and lithium. And who doesn't like lithium, Mike? Dealerships also dispose of the used hybrid packs responsibly, relying on the same collection process, the junkyards, to dispose of what they have so far as batteries and dismantling procedures. The packs are shipped to a facility specializing in battery disassembly and are recycling the components. Certain parts, Mike, are easy. The steel, the copper, the aluminum. Their scrap metals usually go into the nationwide recycling system. But the plastics, to be recycled, it's a little bit different avenue, a little bit harder to do the recycling of plastics. It's the cells themselves that hold the allure. The most expensive part of the battery is the prize of the lithium, the cobalt, the magnesium, the nickel, and to a lesser extent, the aluminum. The cells are ground up, the resulting material is purified in various ways, and the end process is a pure supply of desired metals. Now, an EV battery pack is assumed to be at the end of its life when it has no more than 70 to 75% of its original capacity. Hitting this mark may take 10 years or more. Even with a quarter or more of the peak capacity gone, aging battery packs still offer plenty of energy, 20 to 90 kilowatt hours or up to 3 days worth of electricity for the average American home. So even if it's dead in the car, it could still produce electricity. The challenge to reuse is particularly difficult because the new cells are dramatically cheaper now, to the point that no longer clear is a model of buying, transporting, repurposing, or reselling used cells from older batteries. Here's the kicker. Demands for batteries will soar in the 2020s and the 2030s as the world's largest car markets, China, North America, Europe, continue to transition to EVs. New mining techniques, there's nothing going on. I mean, they're not going to start a new mine just for the batteries. But meanwhile, EV battery metals have come from China. When they were first mined, once a U.S. recycler separates the cells back into their component metals, the new lithium or nickel is now considered to be made in the USA. So you can take a Chinese battery, recycle it, and once you take all those metals and repurpose it, it's now considered made in the USA. So there you go.
So they're using all these precious metals to build the batteries, right? The lithium, all that stuff. But they steal the catalytic converters to get the precious metals out of it. Is anybody stealing the batteries to get the precious metals out?
I think there's more of a challenge with that because you got to take the car apart.
Well,
checking.
and you may get juiced in the process.
Exactly.
Just thinking, get under there with a sawzall and just kind of
do that. Do that.
Garnet.
Get the sawzall. Yeah. Get the sawzall after the battery.
Fried Mars.
Exactly. I want to share this with you. I wish I could share it with you, but I can't right now because I don't have the technology to transfer this picture to what you've got there.
Some of the pictures on your phone are really
we don't want.
I don't know. We want to do all that.
So this is Cousin Steve in Stoughton, Wisconsin this morning. You just sent me that picture.
Oh, wow.
Pass that down.
Cousin Steve.
Cousin Steve's in snow that's as deep as his mailbox.
Well, I mean, look at the snow on the bird bath, and that tells you how much snow that they got last night. Look at that. It's over a foot. Golly.
And that's why I live in South Texas.
That's it. Well,
but you live in Nederland.
That's right.
Yeah. Do we call that South Texas?
Southeast Texas.
I see.
No, that's
Okay.
It's on the right-hand side of Texas.
West Louisiana.
On the right side.
West Louisiana.
You get over there close to the Blue Swamp. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mars. We're not trying to make. Yes, we are trying to make fun.
It's only a blue swamp because the Total keeps dumping all that stuff in there.
It's the glow at night that really sets it off.
And it truly does glow. I've come over that Sunshine or Rainbow Bridge or whatever that thing is, and the whole town.
Oh, well, now there's
glows.
a toxic dump out there.
It's a
the Groves.
Yeah, it's a waste site.
No, it's on the Bridge City side.
By the way, Jack Nerad is listening to this.
I hope not.
And yes, he is. He's listening to this right now, and I'm sure he's got a big smile on his face going,
no, he doesn't.
Where in the hell does he live? Yeah, there's that. So, at any rate, Jack Nerad's coming up here in a couple of minutes, so we invite you to stay tuned for that. And we're going to talk about Knack Toy, the North American Car and Truck of the Year Awards.
Jack is our secret agent for Knack Toy, but he
Not
never
really.
gives us any secrets.
Yeah, he doesn't give up any secrets. Yeah, there's that. Hey, I want to remind you that the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts are at your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after these fast messages.
Rev your engines and set sail for the ultimate surf and turf. The Houston Automotive Show, January 24th through the 28th at NRG Center. One ticket gets you into both the auto show and the boat show. See your favorite car and boat brands under one roof. Learn about the latest electric vehicles and test drive one with Evolve Houston. Board your dream boat and check out the bass fishing demos. It's the Houston Automotive Show, January 24th through the 28th. Buy early and save at automotiveshow.com.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Lupi Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Lupi Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Lupi Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Lupi Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Lupi's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Lupi Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana? Stop in at the Lupi Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Lupi Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.